The first question we have is, what is one example of preserving a resource? There are many different examples we collected from the text and the video, like designating areas of land where resources cannot be harvested. For example, in national parks is one of the examples of preservation. Reducing burning fossil fuels, not to overuse our damage or resources, and you can choose any of them and write it down. The second question is, why practicing sustainable use of resources is important. Using resources slowly enough that they can be replaced or will last for a long time. And it is important so that we will have more of the resources in the future. In class, you can discuss with each other what are some of the different ways to conserve natural resources, and how is preservation different from sustainable use. Can you think of a situation in which one strategy might be better than the other? So, we come to the end of our lesson. Now let's review what we have learned on the evidence board. We learned the importance of using natural resources wisely, and this leads us to the first piece of evidence that we have today. Consuming non-renewable resources wisely and depending on other resources to meet our needs of energy. Now, the second evidence that we have collected today is by reducing our use of fossil fuels, we can also reduce the amount of pollution that goes into our environment. For our third evidence, practicing sustainability is also an important part of resource conservation for the future. We also learned some key vocabularies, and they are fossil fuels, conserving natural resources or preservation, and sustainability. The story says that can you imagine that everyone in the village gets only 40 liters of water per day? To closely think of how much these 40 liters are exactly, I'm going to show you now 1 liter. This water bottle here contains 1 liter. 40 liters equals 40 bottles of these. And this is the percentage of water for every person day in the girls' village. تفتكروا ال40 لتر دول كتير ولا قليلين لاستخدام شخص واحد بس؟ Do you think 40 liters is a large or small quantity for each person to use for an entire day? تفتكروا ال40 لتر مية دي كمية كبيرة ولا قليلة للاستخدام لشخص واحد بس في اليوم؟ To calculate water consumption for each person, we are going to do some steps together, and we'll start from the table that we're going to have on the textbook. Let's go check it out. This table will help us record the amounts of water that we use in various activities in our daily lives in a typical day. In the first column here, we have activities in which we need water, such as showering, brushing teeth with running water, flushing toilet, taking a bath, and brushing teeth as well with no water running, and washing hands. For the activities here, we will calculate the time you take practicing the activity. For example, you wash your teeth for 2 or 4 minutes, and so on. As for the second part of the activity, you will calculate the amount of water by number of times you practice the activity itself. For example, you wash your hands 3, 4, maybe 6 times. And after that, we are going to write approximately how many liters of water are consumed in each activity. These recorded numbers will help you estimate the amount of number consumed in liter per minute, or how much water consumed in liter each time you do this activity. The next step is to calculate water consumed in each activity by multiplying the number of minutes by the number of liters of water, or the number of times by the number of the liters. Then calculating the total amount of water for all the activities. Take your time to think and complete the schedule, and we will hear from some of our students how they calculated their water consumption.
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.